Alright, welcome back everyone to KN Vlogs. So I have a little announcement before I go ahead and get into Genesis 25 this morning. So actually, two announcements. So first off, last week was a Game With Me live. However, that didn't get uploaded. I think I did something wrong. I did record. I did go live. I had a couple comments. I was playing Minecraft, and then when I ended it and I tried uploading it, I don't know what went wrong. It didn't get uploaded. I don't know why. I maybe it's because I immediately left out of the Wi-Fi area and I was going somewhere. Where did I go? Store maybe. To the playground, my friend Nick. I don't know. Okay, I know I immediately left. Right after the live, I immediately left the Wi-Fi range, and then I spent all day trying to get it uploaded, and it would not upload, even though it was live. So I have no idea what happened with that. So I really do apologize for that. That was not my intention to just kind of drop the ball on that one. So far, I've been trying to really stick to my calendar and go with those and make sure everything's uploaded. But like I said, that was my very first live, and I'm pretty sure I messed it up somehow. So I'm gonna have to do another live sometime next month and try and figure that out and see if I can work at the kinks for that. Second update I have is I am switching two events. So this Thursday's event and next Thursday's event, I'm switching them. So this Thursday's event was supposed to be the autistic ADHD kind of event one, and I'm going to be switching it out with a TBR list, like the first 5 books I'll be trying to read, and then the summary of them. Now the reason why I'm switching them out is because recently Nick got his official medical diagnosis, like a 4-hour-long appointment of his actual diagnosis of whether or not he's autistic or just ADHD. According to the doctor, he is just ADHD, like extremely high-end ADHD. So that is the reason why I'm changing that. I'm going to be doing just the ADHD traits and how to go deal with it in a toddler. But like I said, because we just found that out, we are going to be switching that event with like the book event from next Thursday. Give me a little bit more time to kind of come up with how to put that into a video content. So I will be posting a update photo on my Instagram for just this week and next week, showing the event swap. So like I said, this week will be the book one. Next week one would be the ADHD. And then pretty soon I will be updating, or I'll be posting next month's calendar. Just saying. Alright, so today we are going to get into Genesis 25 and go over that. Now this one's pretty short, so I want to stick to that. I want to stick to just 25 and make it short. I do have my kid home. I guess they had no school today, so I don't want to make this video too long. So let's go ahead and just dive right into this, and we'll go ahead and read 25 and figure out what that's about. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so this is about Abraham's death and his descendants, and then it goes into the birth of Jacob and Esau, the prophecy that comes with them, and then of course how Esau sells his birthright. Those are the 3 titles that come into this chapter. Now, just for another reminder, in case you guys are reading along with me, I am reading from the ESV version, the English Standard Version, so it's going to be slightly different than a New King James Version, a King James, or an NIV. The wording might be slightly different. Okay, it says Abraham took another wife whose name was Keturah. She bore him Zimran, Joksan, Medan, Medea, Ishbak, and Shuan. Joksan fathered Sheba and Dedan. The sons of Dedan were Ashirim, Letshurim, and Lemiram. The sons of Medin were Epher, Hanok, Abidad, Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah. Abraham gave all he had to Isaac, but to sons of his concubines, Abraham gave gifts, and while he was still living, he sent them away from his son Isaac eastward to the east country. These are the days of the years of Abraham's life, 175 years. Abraham breathed his last and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. Isaac and Ishmael, his sons, buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, east of Mamre, the field that Abraham purchased from the Hittites. There Abraham was buried with Sarah his wife. I cannot say some of these names today. Oh my gosh. After the death of Abraham, God blessed Isaac his son, and Isaac settled at Beer Lahai Roi. These are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's servant, bore Abraham. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael, named in order of their birth. Dude, I'm not going to try reading these, okay? You got the firstborn of Ishmael. I'm not, like I said, I can't even pronounce these names. So, from 13 to 15, I am going to just put their names up on the screen and skip those because I can't even say their names. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names by their villages and by their encampments. 12 princes according to their tribes. These are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. He breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people. They settled from Havilah to Shur, which is opposite Egypt in the direction of Seir. He settled over against all his kinsmen. Why couldn't they have not just made names so much simple, like Peter? I mean, like, dude, like, our names are simple. Our names are simple. Well, I mean, most of our names are simple. Like Sarah, Abraham, Isaac. I mean, so those are simple names. Like, who names their kid Mishma or Adbil? Like, dude. Or how about this one? Kedma. Like, seriously? Simple names, people. These are the generations. Oh, good gosh. These are the generations of Isaac. Oh, okay, there's no names. Abraham's son. Abraham fathered Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban, the Aramean, to be his wife. And Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord granted his prayer. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. The children struggled together within her, and she said, "If it is thus, why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire to the Lord, and the Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples from within you shall be divided. The one shall be stronger than the other. The older shall serve the younger. When her days to give birth were completed, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red. All his body looked like a hairy cloak, so they called his name Esau. Afterward, his brother came out with his hand holding Esau's heel. So his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. When the boys grew up, Esau was a skilled hunter, a man of the field, while Jacob was a quiet man dwelling in his tents. Isaac loved Esau because he ate his game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Oh, twins. Alright, on to the next part. Once when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field and he was exhausted. And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of that red stew, for I am exhausted." Therefore his name was called Edom. Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright now." Esau said, "I am about to die. Of what use is a birthright to me?" Jacob said, "I swear to me now." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank and rose and went away. Thus Esau despised his birthright. And that is all of 25. This is for 20. That's the wrong one. Okay, so first off, okay, those names are so complicated and hard to say. It gives me a headache. Oh my gosh. Like there's a whole entire section of just like names. Okay, anyways. So the first thing is, obviously we already know in the last chapter, chapter before that, Sarah had died and passed away, and Abraham had buried his wife. Where was it? Chapter 20, come on, I can't turn the pages. 23. And he went to the Hedes, and he was asking for a cave at the end of this one man's field. He got the field and he buried Sarah. And remember how I mentioned to you guys that there was going to be other people buried there as well, not just Sarah. I mentioned, see, like here I have a little note with the writing on it. I mentioned that Abraham was going to be buried there. Isaac, Rebekah, Leah, Jacob, and Joseph were all going to be eventually buried there. So right now, Abraham is at the age of passing away. He's 175 years. Okay. So the first thing I want to point out is how, in fact, he did take another wife afterwards. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with him taking another wife, because she did bear him another 8 kids. Now, these 8 kids are the fathers of, they become, I think they become the distant countries or something like that. Their names alone, I'm pretty sure they become like they spread out and they become like the fathers of distant countries. But I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that one. I thought I had something in here about that, but I guess I don't. No, okay, I did have it. So it says father of distinct people. I didn't put exactly where, because obviously they're distinct. Like I said, Midian, probably the country of Midian. Midian, kind of said, like a lot of these names remind me of actual distant countries, some like the far east countries. Okay, so they're probably somewhere from the fathers of those countries. Okay, but there's, like I said, there's nothing wrong with taking another wife. There's nothing wrong with having more kids. But it even says here in verse 5, it says, to the son of his concubine. So technically, she is his wife. She is. Okay, you remember how I did a video on Sarah and what was his name? Hagar. Okay, Hagar. How Hagar? They're both had kids, but Hagar was lower than Sarah. because Sarah was his actual wife, his basically his soulmate. In other words, Keturah is basically the exact same thing as Sarah. Even though Sarah is dead, Keturah is basically still on that same thing as well. She is married to him, but she's not on the level of being a wife. She's on the level of being a concubine. So, he gave everything he had to Isaac, and then he gave just his concubines, just gifts. Sorry, the sons of his concubines. Like the sons he just had, the 8 kids he just had, he just gave them gifts. That's it. He didn't give them anything. Everything went to Isaac, which was God's chosen, the son he chose for his promise. Okay, so it goes on saying that Abraham was a great man. He lived 175 years. He breathed his last, and then he was gathered to his people, and Ishmael and Isaac both had buried him where Sarah was. Okay. Okay, making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so, and then God blessed Isaac, his son, and Isaac settled at Beer-lahai. Okay, now, so Isaac is the one who has the covenant. Okay, so God would continue his covenant with Isaac and bless him. Ishmael and the rest of Abraham's kids were not of that kind of covenant. Now, Ishmael has his own little covenant, but not like these other kids, not like these kids with Keturah. Okay, then it goes into the names of the generations of Ishmael. So he says, they are the sons of Ishmael, and they are their names by their villages and by their encampments, 12 princes according to their tribes. So this it shows that Ishmael was taken care of. He was blessed, but he was not on the same extent as Isaac. He was not a part of that covenant. He was just really well blessed. He died at 137 years, and then he had all these kids and so on and so on. Okay, then we go into the actual main part, the main focus of this actual chapter, and it is of the birth of Jacob and Esau, and then going forward with their youth. Okay. So after that, Isaac was about 40 years old when he took Rebekah, and at that point she was barren for some reason. So about 20 years after, when it says Rebekah was his wife was conceived, about 20 years after they're married is when she had her first child, or when she first got pregnant. So first I want to point out that he didn't come into the promise easily. It only came through waiting and prayer. Because at this point he said Isaac had prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the wife granted his prayer. So yes, he did come into the covenant, the promise, but it's the same thing as Sarah. She was barren, and he had to pray. He had to ask God for her to have a child. Okay, so the promise, the covenant thing, it didn't come easily to him. He had to really be patient, and he probably was really patient. But when she did get pregnant, she had a kind of a rough pregnancy. As it says here, the children struggled within her, and she said, if this is thus, why is this happening to me? So coming from someone who has had a kid, and I know what it's like to have a kid who is kind of a little rowdy. You get kicked all the time. Pregnancies can be really rough. So she's questioning, if she's meant to be pregnant, then why is her pregnancy being so rough? Why is it being so hard? And this would also, the struggle would continue outside of the womb as well. That is why God said what he said. He said 2 nations, 2 twins, so 2 nations, twins, are in your womb, and 2 peoples are within you, shall be divided. Okay? So the 2 peoples from within you shall be divided, meaning 2 nations, so 2 different people, 2 twins, obviously, and then Jacob and Esau will be 2 different people, basically. And you should be divided. The one shall be stronger than the other. The older shall serve the younger. So Esau is the one who's born first, and he shall serve Jacob. So at this point, he's decided to go against the pattern of the younger serving the older. He's going the opposite. So when her days of travel were complete, the twins, which was the unseen promise because she couldn't see if it was twin or not, they were born. So the first, like I said, it came out was Esau, which means hairy. Okay, he came out red, and he was the first. So Esau is the firstborn. Okay, and then his brother came out with his hand holding Esau's heel, and his name means to follow or be behind. And there's the reason why his name is that, because the fact is that he was behind Esau. He was the second to be born. Okay, but according to the prophecy that God had just told her, since Esau was born first, Jacob was born second, Esau is meant to follow behind Jacob. Okay, and when the boys grew up, Esau was a skilled hunter. He was a man of the field. Jacob was a quiet one, dwelling in tents. Isaac loved Esau, and Rebekah loved Jacob. Okay, so they're both extremely different from one another in personality and taste, and each parent had a different favorite. Now, personally, parents shouldn't have favorites, but unfortunately, sometimes you do. Now we go into this little small section. Oh, my dog is just being annoying right now. Like that small section here that is going into just Esau's birthright. Alright, so Jacob was cooking stew. Jacob came back in from the field, and he was exhausted, and he wanted some food that Jacob was cooking. And he asked him for some stew, and Jacob said, basically, tell me your birthright now. He wanted his birthright. So Jacob, first off, he knew it was valuable, and he wanted it for himself. But, I hate. Let's see, where is it? I just lost my place. So Esau responded with, like, I'm about to die. What use of is it to me? So, just by his careless attitude, he didn't really care. Okay. First, I mean, the whole entire thing really escalated. It really escalated quickly from just wanting food to selling his birthright, and each acted with in her own natural inclination. Okay, so Jacob making food. Esau came home from whatever he was doing in the field. Jacob tells him to sell him his birthright. Esau is basically acting like he doesn't care. And he says, I will one day. So what's this of use to me? So Jacob was acting like a heel catcher, a scoundrel at this point. He was trying to get him to swear to me now your birthright. So and I'm talking about Esau. So he swore to him his birthright and sold it to Jacob. Okay. And then thus Esau got bread and stew, and he ate and drank, and he rose and went on his way. At this point, it said that Esau despised his birthright. Now, excuse me. Okay, so when it says he despised, so his character shows God was correct in choosing Jacob over Esau to carry on the birthright, even though Jacob was younger. Okay, Esau thought it was of little spiritual heritage connected to the birthright. He valued material things. So Esau values material things. Jacob actually values the spiritual things. Esau despised his birthright, which at this point we don't even know what his birthright really is. But Esau hates it, and Jacob wanted it. And this is kind of proving the point of what God has said at the beginning of her pregnancy. We said the one shall be stronger than the other; the older shall serve the younger. Okay, so the son of the birthright received a double portion of the inheritance, and he became head of the household and the spiritual leader after his father passes away. Now, I only found that out because I looked it up. Okay, so that is what his heritage is, what his birthright is. And Esau doesn't want this. Jacob does. So yeah. So at that point, that really escalated pretty fast, going from coming in, asking for food, to selling his birthright. So yeah. And yeah, unfortunately, that is all I have for chapter 25. And like I said, this coming weekend, not weekend, but week Thursday, will be the book one instead of the ADHD autism one. Okay, so I will do chapter 26 next week, I believe it is. Yes, it is. So next week will be chapter 26, which is the promise to Isaac and Abby, and then next Monday after that will be chapter 27, and we will go into the blessing of Jacob. So let me know if you guys have any comments or concerns, or you want anything explained a little further into this. Let me know how I did in my study as well. I could really use that kind of feedback as well. On top of it too, let me know how I did on the intro and the outro of my video when I do upload it. If there's something I should do different, just let me know. Anything in the comments below, okay? Please share, hit the like, comment, share, subscribe. Don't forget the bell button to get notification when I post videos. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.